Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping aboard something pretty iconic, Marine One. But right off the bat, there's this huge misconception we need to clear up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Everyone seems to think Marine One is, the name of a particular helicopter, like one specific model. Our sources, though, they tell a very different story.
Okay, let's unpack this then, because we're really going to dig into what it actually is, the incredible tech involved, and honestly, the just staggering cost of making a helicopter into a secure flying command center. So, give it to us straight. What is Marine One?
It's simple, really. It's just a call sign, nothing more. It's only used when the President of the United States is physically on board any helicopter operated by the U.S. Marine Corps. That's the absolute key takeaway.
So the helicopter itself might be, say, a Sikorsky VH-92, but it only gets called Marine One when the President is actually in it.
Exactly right. The second the President steps off, it goes back to its regular military call sign. And just to flip that, if the President happened to be flying in an Army helicopter, the call sign would immediately switch to Army One.
It's totally fluid, depends on who's inside and which service is flying.
That makes so much more sense. It's a critical distinction. Okay, now that we've sorted the name thing out, let's look back. How did this whole presidential helicopter thing even start? It wasn't always this high-tech operation, was it?
No, not at all. Actually, the sources show it started out surprisingly practically. Official, regular use kicked off back in 1957. President Dwight D. Eisenhower was the first president to really use a helicopter consistently.
And why? Was it some Cold War strategic thing, moving quickly for military reasons?
You'd think so, maybe, but no. It was purely about logistics. He just needed a fast, secure way to get from the White House to Camp David and also out to Andrews Airport without getting stuck. Wait, seriously. So this massive, multi-billion-dollar security operation we see today, it basically started because Eisenhower wanted to beat Washington, D.C. traffic.
Pretty much, yeah. It was an executive travel solution for, well, a classic city traffic headache. The helicopter he used back then was the Sikorsky UH-34 Seahorse. Its military designation was HUS-1. Functional, sure, but worlds away from the kind of hardened platform we're talking about now.
Right. But times change, threats evolve.
And that's what's really fascinating here. The helicopter fleet itself is constantly being updated. It has to be. They're always trying to stay ahead of modern security threats and, keep up with technology. It's this continuous cycle of modernization because, well, presidential security can't afford to stay static.
So if we look up today, what are we likely seeing? The fleet's kind of in flux right now, isn't it?
That's right. It's a period of transition. The main workhorse for a long time, the Sikorsky VH-3D Sea King, is actually being phased out now after decades of service. And then there's also a transitional model they use, the Sikorsky VH-60N, which people sometimes call the White Hawk.
But the big one, the future standard, that's replacing both of those.
Yeah.
That's the Sikorsky VH-92 Patriot, right?
That's the one. And no matter which model it is, Sea King, White Hawk, or the new Patriot, every single one used for presidential transport is flown and maintained by a very specific group, the U.S. Marine Corps Helicopter Squadron, HMX-1. Their entire reason for existing is providing secure, reliable transport for the president. Managing the shift to the VH-92, that's a huge part of their job right now.
Okay, let's really get into the VH-92 Patriot then, because this is where it gets kind of wild, right? It's so much more than just a way to get from A to B. It's basically a flying fortress and office combined.
Absolutely. Performance-wise, just to start, it's impressive. The Patriot can fly about 1,400 kilometers, that's roughly 870 miles without refueling. It can stay up for quite a while too, typically around 2.5 to maybe 3.5 hours, depending on the load and conditions. That gives the president a lot of operational flexibility.
And the fortress part. When we talk about hardening, what does that actually mean for this helicopter?
Well, the sources confirm the obvious stuff first. The fuselage, the windows, they're hardened against bullets, ballistic threats. But the really critical upgrade, the thing that makes it a true strategic asset in a major crisis, is the protection against EMPs, electromagnetic pulses.
Whoa, EMP shielding on a helicopter, that's huge. So if there was some kind of major electronic attack or even a high-altitude nuclear event causing an EMP, the president could theoretically keep operating from the air. Communications wouldn't just die.
That's precisely the goal. And the protection isn't just passive armor. The VH-92 has sophisticated evasion systems built in. We're talking advanced electronic countermeasures, ECM plus missile warning systems, and crucially, dispensers for things like chaff and flares to actively decoy and evade incoming missiles, whether they're heat-seeking or radar-guided.
So it's not just built tough, it's designed to actively avoid getting hit by sophisticated weapons, all while keeping everything inside running smoothly. What does all that tech allow the president to do up there?
It essentially keeps the president fully connected. The communication systems are completely secure, fully encrypted. It allows the president to run the government, hold secure video conferences, talk to military commanders, maintain full command authority, all while flying miles high.
Okay, so the flying Oval Office description isn't just hype, it's literally true. But look, if you're potentially stuck in this thing for 3 hours working through a crisis, you probably need some basic comforts, right? Did they remember? Like a coffee maker, or maybe a bathroom.
Huh. Well, maybe not a gourmet coffee maker, but yes, they definitely considered comfort. Sources mention the interior is executive level. You've got a pressurized cabin, climate control, comfortable executive seating, a small work area, and yes, crucially, there is a private bathroom on board. It's designed for sustained operation, which is vital, especially on longer, complex trips. Which brings us, inevitably, to the cost. If you're packing in EMP shielding, secure comms that rival the White House Situation Room, and advanced missile defenses onto a helicopter, what kind of price tag are we looking at? It can't be cheap.
No, it definitely isn't. The numbers are pretty eye-watering, but you can kind of see why when you think about what's involved. The estimated cost for just one of these new VH-92 Patriots is around $95 million.
Wow.
Yeah, $95 million. For one helicopter, it's an incredible figure.
And that's just the unit cost. We need to look at the whole program, right? They're not just buying one. The total program to get the full fleet, I think it's 23 VH-92s. The estimated cost for that whole acquisition is around $5 billion.
$5 billion, with a B. And I think it's really important we stress for you listening that $5 billion pays for a lot more than just, 23 helicopters sitting on the tarmac.
Absolutely. That massive figure covers everything. Years of research and development, integrating all those highly classified communication and defense systems you can't just buy off the shelf. Then there's the incredibly rigorous testing needed to meet presidential safety standards, which are obviously high as possible, plus comprehensive training for all the HMX-1 pilots and crews, and then the whole long-term logistics tail spare parts, maintenance, upgrades to keep this unique custom fleet flying safely for decades.
You're essentially buying the capability to ensure the president can govern and command from anywhere at any time under almost any conditions with the maximum possible protection. Failure just isn't budgeted for, and that's what drives that price. Okay, so let's try and pull this all together for you. Key takeaways. Marine One, not a helicopter model, it's a call sign, only used when the president's on board a Marine Corps aircraft. The whole thing started, believe it or not, because President Eisenhower just wanted a faster way to Camp David and Andrews, basically to beat DC traffic. And that immense multi-billion-dollar price tag today, it's all driven by one thing: the absolute need for a super secure, technologically advanced flying command post that can survive almost anything, from bullets to EMPs.
And maybe one final thought to leave you with, connecting it back to that dedicated unit, HMX-1. Think about the fact that they are always in this cycle of transition, moving from the old VH-3Ds and the VH-60Ns to this new VH-92. This isn't a one-time upgrade. This continuous, incredibly expensive cycle tells you something really important about the world, doesn't it? It suggests the threats the president faces while traveling aren't static. They're constantly evolving, constantly escalating, forcing these huge, costly technological leaps just to maintain that baseline of safety and command capability on the move. It's a constant race.